My name is James Jones, and I would like to talk to you about a little bit about the Vietnam War and my experiences as a draftee, 1966, and of a time that it's somewhat like today, where you would have a government that could draft young people into the military and send them halfway around the world. And so, who are the kind of people that were drafted? And what was the experience like for them? Well, everybody has a different story, and the experience was different or is different for all of them. And so it's just good to be alive all these years later and be able to share some memories. It's kind of been on my mind for a long time and resulted in this book, Oh Darling. I couldn't say everything I wanted to say in the title. It's only 2 words, Oh Darling. So it's got a long subtitle, Choices and Struggle in the Age of Sputnik, the Vietnam War, and the New Millennium. And it might not have been the most interesting book that could have been written about my family or a family member. My father might have made a better story. He was in World War II, was drafted also. He had a brother that was killed in Italy, south of the Arno River. And I had another brother that served as a medic, also in Europe. Then other members of my family could have been a little brother who saved another student's life in high school, who had gotten badly cut. My little brother stopped the bleeding, was just the best of us. The youngest brother, 12 years younger than me, and unfortunately died of brain cancer in 2002. Youngest sister made her living for a couple of years as a young woman, going out in the sloughs of St. Augustine, Florida, harvesting oysters and clams. Did that for about 2 years. She also rustled rattlesnakes, and she also drove a cab, and she managed a metal extrusion company, and now she's a manager of a big box store in Florida. And I got other sisters I could tell you stories about, but it would probably get me kicked out of the family. So we have this book, which is one that I can write. It's got real names in it, real experiences. So I grew up in St. Augustine, Florida, and just barely graduated from St. Augustine High School. Wasn't a very good student, and I did not go to college right away. I went to work. First job was with a land survey crew for the U.S. government, holding a stick. And then later, bagged groceries for a little while, and then I got a job at Florida Times Union in the composing room. And only worked there for a couple of months, and I got drafted into the Army. And first stop was Fort Benning, Georgia, where I had basic combat training. Then went on to Fort Ord, California, where I had light weapons infantry training. And even though I had no college, I went to Officer Candidate School at Fort Gordon, Georgia. Graduated as a second lieutenant. I went to Germany, and after 13 months, I went at my own request to Vietnam. And I was an assistant operations officer in a signal battalion. Then I was company commander, and really interesting time. Best assignment I ever had. Didn't have anybody killed. Had a couple of people wounded, and then there's quite an amazing love story, I think, that's really at the heart of Oh Darling. Oh Darling is, well, you'll have to read the book to find out who Oh Darling is. But we're still together after all this time. And we actually went back together again to Vietnam a couple of times. Yeah, amazing experience, and we document a lot of that. Served 33 months in Vietnam and was not a hero, but I stayed there longer because of a woman who is now my wife, and I've been married for a long time. It worked out. It was a success. So the only thing it doesn't have in my experience is the pandemic, and but we hoping that we're at a point now where there's a real end in sight. We hope we have the vaccines. I've gotten my first shot, scheduled for the second. And we hope that life will return to normal, maybe better than normal as we remember it. Thank you very much.